How have you been?
I've been amazing, but I'm even better right now because after leaving one of your panels, I feel so like invigorated. Just your energy is so wonderful, and
We usually chit-chat more up here than we did this time.
I know, but you got so many people. You know, I want to talk to you, but thank you so much again, Steve. This has been such
Thank
an
you.
honor.
Thanks,
One more time.
D and E game, and it'll sound like this, and you make $1 billion that way. But you won't do anything good, you know? I mean, if you think of the stuff that lasts forever, it's pretty A game. You think of like Frank Oz, what he was doing, what Jim Henson was doing, what Fred was doing, you know? I call him Fred now. I never got to But that is some A-game stuff, right? That is some really deep considered work. And for the most part, I don't know about the most part, but very often you just kind of see afterthought stuff. Or you see like a cartoon about all of these puppies that were toys first. So it's just a commercial for toys, you know? You see that kind of stuff. So I guess your question is there a difference between working for children's media, working for adult media? Yeah, I think it's more of a tightrope for kids, and I think it's more important. You know, Mr. Rogers used to say that everything that comes out of the television is automatically a sanctioned piece of caregiving to the child, in the same way that anything that comes out of the stove is safe and edible to the child. It's just an appliance, and they're assuming that it's okay because you've given them that show, because it's on the iPad that you gave them. So the bar, I think, is higher.
Awesome. Do you have like a personal philosophy or a mantra that guides your decisions and actions just through everyday life?
No, not like one distilled mantra or anything like that, you know. I have personal philosophies. I try to be kind, and I don't have like a saying that I say to myself. Do you?
No, not really.
Do you?
Does anybody? My mom's like a yoga teacher, so she's like good with that stuff, but not me. I can't center my heart or whatever they do. But
I have a daily meditation practice, but there's no mantra involved. So.
How about, since we were talking about your travels, what was the most like exotic or unique food that you've gotten to try?
The most exotic or weird food?
Or unique, yeah.
Oh man, I've eaten some weird stuff. I remember I was in India for a month with my friend Juggy. He grew up there, so he was kind of showing me India. And we were driving from New Delhi down to Mumbai, right? And we had hired a friend of his family to be our driver. And we were in the middle of nowhere, India, and we stopped to get gas, and there was some dude on the side of the road cooking peppers in a cinder block, you know. And I was looking at him and I was like, and the guy was like, I was like, yeah, man, give it to him. And I got him, and I'm about to eat him, and the driver, who had not spoken to me in 3 days, drops the pump and goes, "Not for you!" And I'm like, and I suffered. I suffered for like 2 days. I think that to this day the most delicious thing I ever ate though was in Cambodia. It was a soup. I think it was called bun bo hoi. And it was the most delicious thing I ever ate. I tried so hard. I tried for years to find it in New York City, and I finally found like a Vietnamese place that knew what it was, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, we're not allowed to use that part of the animal here." I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, those are some weird things. I ate the fermented shark in Iceland, but that's kind of a joke, like the prank that they play on tourists.
What's the prank?
Like, hey, eat this fermented shark. It's a delicacy. And it's not. It's just disgusting.
Joke's on you.
You ate it.
I was gonna say maybe not necessarily like exotic, but I know is Minneapolis known for like juicy loosies? I keep seeing that.
How about juicy lucy?
That's all.
Yeah.
I never recommend. Okay.
That's a good thing. You should do that if you haven't done it.
I haven't yet.
It's like a hamburger on steroids.
Little steroid hamburger, I love it. Before we get to questions from the crowd, I wanted to talk a little bit about, because not only are you an actor, but you're also in music as well. I want to know, like, what inspires you when it comes to like creating a song or music?
It's weird. It's almost like getting a migraine for me. Like I'll wake up and I'll be like, "There's a song in me today." And it's weird. Like I feel the impulse, you know. I know when it's cooking. But the way I write songs, I'm not just being humble. I'm not a very skilled musician, right? I don't read music. I'm not like a very skilled musician. But what I like to do is produce music. So I will very often just open Pro Tools and do 4 bars and just refine it and crudely smash it, button smash it, you know, and just kind of work a vibe, just like a little 4-bar vibe, a place where the melody goes minor to major or something that inspires me and keeps me interested, and I'll build out from there. There's always like a kernel that inspires me, and I'll build out from that.
When's the first time you ever had a guitar in your hands?
I saw the movie Back to the Future when I was like completely the demographic for that movie. And I was like, oh, well that's cool. Clearly I must become Marty McFly. I'm gonna need a skateboard, a puffer vest, jean jacket, got it all. And I made my dad cut out a red guitar out of a piece of plywood so that I could pretend I was Marty McFly. And I would just walk around with it, you know. And then my mom was like, we need to get Steve a guitar. So she got me this guitar that I thought was really stuffy looking. It was like an electric acoustic. To me, it just didn't look rock and roll. So I didn't really play it. It lived in the closet, and I would play this acoustic guitar that I was learning on. And then when I was 25, I was like, I wonder what happened to that crappy old guitar that mom got me. It was a Gibson ES-110 that she got randomly at a garage sale for like $50. It's a really, really nice guitar. And I opened it up, I was like, what? And that's my main guitar. The Flaming Lips have recorded that guitar. My friend in that band was like, can I use that? I'm like, yeah, man. So it's like a really cool axe that I have.
Was the first song you learned how to play Johnny Be Good?
No, but one of the first ones I tried to learn, yeah, but it was beyond me. I was a big fan back then of early U2, and that sounds easy. Really easy. So I played a lot of that first.
All right, well, if it's okay with you, like I mentioned before, we do have a microphone over there for whatever questions you guys may have that are appropriate with everything going on in the acting world right now. And if we got to pivot, we'll pivot. So, all right, go ahead. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, Brent from Hibbing here. I just want to start off by saying you were like a god to me when I was a kid. You were on my TV every day.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you are God. Hi, and then my question for you is, do you prefer bidet or just toilet paper?
Hey, yo.
First of all, that's a very personal question. I like a bidet.
The hell is that?
I love the applause.
It belongs to the bidet, sure.
It's like water at your ass. Oh, like it, like.
Great question.
Hi, what's your name?
Charlie,
Hi, Charlie.
what's your dog's name? It better be blue.
Nope. My dog passed 3 years ago. I know. I'm still upset. His name was Burgess Meredith. Because Rocky is my all-time favorite film. And I just love that actor. And I loved Mickey from Rocky. So we just called him Mickey. But his name was Burgess Meredith.
Name for a dog. I love that.
Hi, Steve. I'm Brooke.
Hi.
My heart is Ritzy. So I saw you in concert in Minneapolis about 20 years ago.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Where
the
did
CD right there
Where did I play?
at the Uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a big.
We were so bad. I'm so sorry.
You're kind of a dick though, because I asked you to sign my CD and you didn't sign my CD.
Why would I not sign this? I would have been thrilled to know that anyone bought it.
You were busy. You said you had breakdowns at the stage and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was not very glamorous when I was touring as a musician. It was just me and like 2 guys. And we would always have the opening slot because we were terrible. And you had like 5 minutes to get your stuff off the stage. And like I had to do all that myself. So I will totally sign your CD.
You weren't a dick though. You were very nice.
Okay, well, that's interesting because the way you described it 2 minutes ago was that I was Okay, yeah, cool.
I was just wondering if you're going to play, by any chance, any shows while you're here this weekend.
What was that?
If you're going to play shows maybe while you're here this weekend.
Am I playing a show? No. I'm terrible live. It's true. Sorry, I will sign your CD.
What's your name?
My name is Courtney Ross, and welcome to Minneapolis. And I'm also the fiance of George Floyd. And so 3.5 years ago, I was in probably some of the darkest spaces of my life. And going through my TikToks, all of a sudden, you came back to all of us. Never forget how fulfilled my soul felt when you just looked at us again. And that's how we're doing. We weren't doing so well. It wasn't just me, it was all of us, especially in Minneapolis. So I'm curious, like, where did that come from? Because your heart just poured out to us. Like, did you just decide one day, or where did it come from, Steve?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm healing.
Yeah,
I'm
you look
healing.
good. You look good.
I'm healing.
The story of that viral video is we rebooted Blue's Clues. We rebooted the television show that I used to do. And I was very involved, right? I was writing, directing, producing. I was like Yoda, you know? I was like the old green guy, the short old green guy who understood the Force, you know? So I was very involved, and I was directing a music video. And someone said, hey, the hosts of the show should do shout-outs for social media. And I was like, hold my beer. I was like, I want to talk. I don't want to talk to the kids. I want to talk to my friends. Like the kids don't know who I am, you know, but I want to talk. I want to continue the conversation that we started 20 years ago, you know, 25 years ago. I wanted to, and do it the same way. Just scale it up, you know, do it with respect, sincerity, immediacy, And I needed that message as much as anybody else did in that time. And for me, that show, that connection with the camera, as goofy as it was personal and emotional for me, always, when I did that show. And I felt that I had more to say and more to give, and I just very sincerely wanted to check in. And that was during the pandemic, and just also, the internet was such a mean place for a while there. Like, everybody was just trolling each other, and it almost seemed like being a dick was a virtue for some people in that time. Certainly politically, right? Like, it just seemed like the more of a dick you were, the stronger you seemed, or something, which I thought was BS. That always bothered me. So I was like, can we use the internet to be a place of connection and respect? Can we also use our phones that way? Those are the things I was thinking. And I was thinking, oh, and I'm gonna kick him in childhood. I'm gonna bring up the college thing. You know? And I did, I wanted to say that I never forgot about you guys, because I didn't. And I wanted to just say thank you, and say hi. It was all very simple. And I'm beyond grateful and flabbergasted that it had such an impact. So.
Hi, Steve. So my question was actually kind of gonna be the same type of thing. After sort of dropping out of the public eye about 20 years ago, that was going to be kind of the question, what made you kind of decide to come back? You kind of answered that already. So I just wanted to say in response to that, thank you again, because 2 years ago when I saw that viral TikTok, it really brought tears to my eyes because of how much you meant to me in my childhood, and I really needed that in that time, and so that's kind of just going off of the question before. So yeah, so I guess I don't really have a question anymore other than saying thank you.
What is your name?
My name is Max. I actually met you yesterday.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
What's your name?
Hi, Steve. My name is Lisa, and I'm a mom of 5. So I'm kind of coming at this from a different perspective. I just want to say thank you for all the things that, all of your stuff. You came into my living room for over 12 years, because even though you were gone, the videos, the CDs and the DVDs and all that stuff kept coming. And it was great because it was quality programming, and I thank you for that. I think I have to tell you that one of my favorite shows was the one where you talked about changing your scary dreams into happy dreams. And as a mother of 5, that at any given time during the night, I could hear the feet running down the hallway because somebody had a nightmare. Showing them that show was very helpful for my kids. So I just want to say, that's one of the best ones that I can remember.
I forgot about that. That's a good one.
My question for you is, as you have to climb into your character, did you have the opportunity to present ideas for your show?
Yeah. We can talk about that kind of stuff, right?
If you're comfortable, technically.
We can talk process and stuff.
Process, yes.
Yeah. Yes, of course. That show was sort of like a game show. Which one is the triangle? Do you know? Good job. And I added a whole lot of perspective to the character. I think any actor does, right? And as is often the case, the quirks and the things and the details and the things that I added became conventions of the show.
For example, I remember I was just talking to Angela last week. She created the show. She said, "Do you remember when you sat down in the chair and said, I think this guy would sing when the mail arrives?" You know? So stuff like that, and I think that to keep it less about any particular show, I think that that's a very common thing. You know, when you inhabit a character, you know, the things that become hooks for you, conventions for you, often become conventions of the show. So that happened there too.
So I just want to also say that when Mr. Rogers died, I cried, and I also cried when you left.
Oh,
Thank you for everything you did.
thank you, Lisa.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Alex. Hi, Steve.
Hi.
So growing up, all of us like late 20, early 30-year-olds were like your target audience for that show.
Yeah.
And we all probably had stories related to that show growing up. My story, my mom would tell every potential partner coming over, anyone she knew, is that I bawled my eyes out when you left that show. So my question is, what stories have you heard about people's reaction to that show that are your favorite ones?
Oh, whoa. I mean, the one that made me cry today, the one that just always just astounds me is, oh, I was nonverbal until your show. Or, the stories people tell me that just validate all of the work we did. It was an effective thing. It was an effective educational thing that we were a part of. And I'm ferociously proud of that. I still haven't figured out a way to get my arms around it. I wish I could hold it, but the notion that that show is in the conversation with other evergreen shows, Sesame. You know, there aren't many shows that have lasted that long and that have had this effect. And I think I avoid thinking about that, you know, because it seems so big. But the little moments where I get a whiff of it, a flavor of the impact of the show and the fact that it was so important to you, that's wonderful. That's a gift that I cherish. So, thank you. I'm sorry to make you cry when I went to college.
That's I will say that there's only like one person in my life that's made me cry multiple times, and it was you as a kid, and then me as like a 28-year-old going through a breakup and anxiety and COVID, and all of a sudden you're on my phone. Like that sucked.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Mike.
Hi.
I also grew up watching Blue's Clues. That was such an amazing show. Childcare, you know, nap time. It's like, yay, Blue's Clues time. So my question is a little technical. It's after you found clues and you drew in the notebook. I heard from a recent interview like that wasn't you.
What was me? Was not me. I know. We're all adults here. We can hold this. Not only was that not me, we struggled every season to find someone who was capable of doing that. I mean, it was so hard because we would do those at the end of a stretch. We would do like 5, 6 episodes at a time, like 15 clues at a time. And the deal was the camera was here, so whoever was doing it had to hold the notebook, and you couldn't see what you were doing, right? And it was maddening and frustrating. We would burn through animators and be, I'm not doing this again. You know, the only one who could do it was Tracy. Tracy, who drew the show and is the voice of the dog and everything, she could whip them out. She's like, yeah, but your hands don't look like my hands. You know? So, yeah, it wasn't me, and it was the hardest gig on set.
All right, thank you. That was my question.
Yeah.
Now we know what the show had in common with Titanic, right?
What's your question?
Hi, my name's Josie. I'm from Big Lake, and my question has to do with blue and magenta. When we found out that magenta was the guy and blue was the girl in the relationship, did you know that before they released it, or were you as shocked as we were?
They're both girls.
What?
And I knew it. I mean, there's gendered pronouns all over that show. Did you see which way she went? Where did she go? Like to me, it was always obvious. But,
Yeah, I guess for me, I was very, very little
Yeah.
when you were still in here.
that was sort of baked in. That was part of their idea, which I thought was brilliant, was
Yeah.
maybe colors don't correspond to
Yeah.
gender, you know? So,
How much of an effect that you had with everyone, especially with nowadays, with gender roles being actually like looked at differently, and how Blue's Clues kind of like started it in a way with people in my generation. I thought it was amazing.
yeah, I'll share that with Angela and Tracy. They would love to hear that. So.
And you were just so great. You left when I was like still very, very little, like not even in elementary school. So it's great to see you back, and
Nice to see you.
I have so many memories watching your show with my family, and it's great to see you come back.
Thank you.